Taught 2 classes this morning.
Great. We're live.
All right. We're live.
Yay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Chai Together. I'm your host and founder, Pratibha Day. You are tuning in for your cup of courage, hope, and imagination today. So we use courage on this platform to showcase our stories. We use hope to overcome, and we use imagination to resonate and understand with the stories that are being shared. So that being said, I'd like to welcome Miss Thara Prashad. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I love that. Your cup of courage,
Hope and
hope,
imagination.
and imagination. That's beautiful.
Chai together.
Yeah.
You see, it has a dia here, but when I first painted it, like I hand painted it, I didn't mean to paint a dia. It just like it was a calling, I believe, because it came out looking like a dia. So it's like shining light on mental health journeys.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. I think Diwali's coming up too.
Yes, it is.
I know you're ready for that. More outfits.
I'm
More
excited. Lots of exciting events coming up, and then I have to get the kids ready for it. I'm excited. I think this year Aryan, who's 3, will actually, be able to participate. So it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where would you like to begin?
Oh my gosh, where would I like to begin? Where would you like me to begin? My journey is long.
You're still here, still youthful. All right, let's begin with, I guess, your college days, right? That's when you were like really struggling with anxiety when you were younger.
Yeah. I think really that goes all the way back to high school, right? My anxiety and it started in high school, and it was really interesting because at that time, mental health was not talked about the way that it's talked about now, right? So super unpolitically correct. Like it was basically, if you said that there was something wrong with your mental health, you were like crazy, right? So parents didn't know how to manage that. And I had to go to my mom and my dad and say, hi, I think I need therapy. And they're just like, huh? And it's interesting, right? And I was thinking about it before we got on this call. There's so much of my journey, of my history, of what I went through that no one knows about. Still to this day, it's still stuff that's just, it's held inside of me, and I've worked through it. But my parents don't know everything, right? Even my therapist doesn't know everything that I had ever went through, and the different bullying and the different abuse and those things that probably caused the anxiety to rise up back then. So it's really interesting. I'm so grateful to see where the world has come, and I'm so glad that mental health is something that is talked about now, and that, even someone like me who's like, that to the outside world, everyone would assume has this, the quintessential life. And I'm like, no, I've had my share of heartache and my share of struggle. And that is, for me, the greatest gift that I had, even though I say, like, I don't wish what I went through in my youth on anyone because it was so painful at times. But I really believed as I got into my early 20s, I believed that there was a purpose for everything that I went through. And that if I could help others to learn the tools to get through these different experiences, then all of the pain that I went through was worth it.
I really like hearing you speak this way, because I don't hear you, when you do your lives, it's not about, your story, which I think you should tell more of your story. But I also understand, being, a public figure, that can be a tricky area. What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like you're not able to fully state everything because of the respect for your family and because of, being a public figure? Do you feel that way?
I think that I share when it's appropriate, if that makes sense, right? Like, I'm not closed, that if there is a situation where I can put it out there, I do.
Like right now.
I do it when it's necessary, when I think it'll be helpful. But I don't share everything. And like you said, yes, absolutely. Being a public figure, I have to respect everyone in my family. And who knows, as the journey continues to unfold, the stories continue to be shared over time.
So let me ask you, you grew up in Jersey, right? In the States?
Yeah.
So the bullying that took place, was it because of your appearance, you being a brown girl, etc.? Was it those
Yeah,
things?
100%. That was a huge thing for me. I was the only brown girl in my class up until about, I think 6th grade.
Mm.
And then there was 2 of us. And then by 8th grade, it was 2 Indians and 1 African-American boy joined our class. So I was really the only one my whole life. And that was a driving force for me. But what it meant also was that I really wanted to figure out I wanted to blend in. I wanted to be like everyone else, right? Because
Mhm.
I didn't, I loved my culture and my family. And I think that was a huge part of my support, right? We
Mhm.
have a big, amazing brown family
Yeah,
who
your
like
dad.
loves on me so tremendously. And I think that that is what got me through everything. Um, but yeah, I definitely felt it. I definitely knew I was different. I shaved my legs behind my parents' back because
Mhm.
everybody used to make fun of me that I was hairier than them because you could see our hair,
Right.
you could see their hair. And I had went to my mom and said I want to shave my legs,
Mhm.
and she said no, and she didn't understand what the big deal was, and that's not her fault. She just didn't understand what I was going through, the level of what I was going through of being picked on. So I did it behind her back. And then that was even worse when she found out I did it, right? So, that's just one example of trying to fit in. I mean, I was blonde for many years, which again
Oh,
probably
yeah. I forgot.
surrounded by blonde girls, right? Um, and that doesn't mean that you can't get highlights and still honor who you are, right? Sometimes
Mhm.
highlights just look good, right? So, but it feels good to also just love my hair color the way that it is now.
Mhm.
But yeah, I got teased for, they used to ask me if my dad owned a 7-Eleven.
Mm.
I used to freak out if they cooked curry in the house because I didn't want my clothes to smell. I had to make sure you close my door before you cook.
Mm.
All of those things that many other Indian kids go through. Um, but yeah, it was
Sounds
definitely
like cultural identity crisis, challenge to
majorly,
fit in. Yeah.
majorly. I mean, I didn't honor my Indian roots
Mhm.
until I was in my 20s. I honored them with my family, but I definitely didn't honor them during school time,
Hmm. So how
right?
do you feel where you are now? Do you feel like it's the best you ever been?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's like it's so nice to just like be at peace. And
Mhm.
it's so nice to have found this merging of the worlds where, I think really through my yoga practice, it
Mhm.
was a huge part of my opening to the culture publicly.
Mm.
And it's been such a beautiful way for me to share the culture with so many different people through the practice, through the yoga, through the meditation, sharing of stories during class. It's such a beautiful gift to be able to share the culture now.
I'm going to visit the studio. I have to drive like an hour. So I'm wearing your jewelry. I'm wearing Tara's jewelry. This
Oh
is
my God, yes, you
the
are.
first necklace that came out, and the earrings, right? So tell us about these, and when you do Reiki charge them, right? You do the custom Reiki charge.
Yeah,
What is it exactly you do, and can you share with people about Reiki? From your knowledge.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm a 500-hour certified yoga teacher. I'm a certified health coach, and then the last piece
Mm-hmm.
of my tools that that I did a few years ago was becoming a Reiki master, now a Karuna Reiki master. And the Reiki for me was really the next key in my healing
Mm-hmm.
process. And Reiki is energy healing, right? So we all are made up of energy. We're energetic beings. That's what we are. We have vibrations throughout our bodies, right? So the same way we go through an experience, and if someone mentions it, it literally resonates in your body. You feel it. So experiences can get trapped in our body. So we want to be able to clear them out. We don't have to keep them there. They don't need to stay stuck, right? Many people choose to stay stuck, but I'm like, no, we don't have to stay stuck, right? And Reiki is this unbelievable tool that connects us to the divine source energy that there is an abundance of. It's limitless, it's boundless, and when connected with it, it's really your own power that's there within yourself. I'm not healing you, you are healing yourself, right? It's just me waking you up to that power that's inside of you. And we're able to bring healing and clear out a lot of the junk that has accumulated over the years. And as I like to see it, it's those spaces get cleared and filled with a loving, kind energy, which is the energy that is available to all of us in this world. When we open ourselves up to it.
So let me ask you, do you feel attunement is necessary for you to be a Reiki practitioner?
So to be a certified Reiki practitioner, yes, attunement is necessary. Some people are born with the gift, right? But it's still different. So many people who are born with the gift, but then come and get Reiki attuned, say that after they've been attuned, they see an increase in their strength of their energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when did you start? How many years has it been now since you've been practicing?
2.5 years.
That's it. You're
That's
such
it.
a master.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But that's because I spent a lot of time and energy on it from the time I started. So I realized after I started my Reiki journey that my grandfather was, he wasn't a Reiki healer, but he was very in tune with energy. And from when I was really little, like 8 years old, I used to go to his house and he would show me how to move a pencil with my eyes. Wow. And so I forgot, right? Like he did all these things and I never forgot them, but it didn't click. And he meditated for hours a day. So we had all these synergies. So I think that I have part of his gift was given to me. And so that's why I was able to really advance quickly, because I think I did have a gift, but then I pursued the Reiki energy because I really felt so at home with the Reiki energy.
Did you move the pencil?
That part I don't remember, but I teach Ava now. Like I teach Ava how to move crystals, and she's amazing. She soaks it all in.
It works
all in. She loves it. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's so cute. Like when she gets stressed out, Ava is my 7-year-old, and Ava has been doing meditation and yoga with me since she was in my belly. Literally since she was in like the gestation period, because from the moment that I thought I conceived, I started doing like serious meditative work. So she's been with me doing that forever. So when she gets stressed out, she is like she's very animated. So when she gets stressed, it's like the world is going to collapse. And then I'm like, take a deep breath. And she literally brings her hands into, right? She's like, but it's like a very stressful breath, but it's so she's still trying to do it.
Yeah.
So you see, I love that she has those tools already and she knows how to call them in when she needs to. She asked me this morning, Mommy, when are we going to do a live meditation again? I'm like, that's a good question. We haven't done one in a while. So it's a gift to be able to pass it down to them from a young age.
I like that. And she is that way. Yeah. From watching her and knowing of her. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your dream? Like you have your studio, but do you have a bigger dream, like retreats, etc.? I don't know if you do those now.
No, I do. I'm like, oh, that's a big question. But yes, retreats is definitely on the list. This 2022, I have a plan. I have a trip plan to go scope out a location that I hope I will plan a retreat for. So that's the next goal for me. I'm focused on starting to host some retreats. Yeah.
So the question that I asked earlier, I realized it was a 2-part. So you answered about the Reiki, but when you do charge your jewelry, what is it exactly you do?
What is it that I do? So I sit with the jewelry and I meditate. And I will call the person's, I'll bring the person to mind. Even if I don't know them, it doesn't matter. That's the thing about Reiki. It's all about intention, right? So I might not know this person. I tell them if there's something specific that they want or need to please write it down. Some people do, some people don't, right? And then as soon as I say their name and I sit with the jewelry and I start meditating and Reikiing it, sometimes things will immediately come to me. So then I'll Reiki charge it with that, with whatever thoughts came. So like if I feel like the person needs more strength, if I feel like they need guidance or clarity, I'll just hear something. It comes to you, and that's what I send to it. If someone asks me for something specific, then that's what I do, and I charge it with that. And usually, like I meditate with each piece for about 10 minutes before, packing it with love and care.
Did you come up with that idea?
I don't know anyone else who's doing it. I don't want to say like I patented it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. I know that I think where I got it from was when I bought someone gave me a crystal, and the woman who was sending the crystal to be gifted to me was Reiki charging the crystal before she sent it to me.
Yeah.
And they couldn't send it, like the gift was late because she was like, it's not ready. I have to Reiki it more.
Wow.
So I think that's where the idea was triggered for me. And then with the jewelry that we do for Spirit Warrior, all the jewelry has meaning. All the crystals have meaning. So it was kind of the same idea that I would Reiki the crystals before sending them off.
What do you feel you'd be doing if you weren't a Reiki practitioner now, Reiki master now? Do you know? Because I remember the story because you shared with me like prior that your friend told you to go to a Reiki class, and then your husband mentioned, why don't you do it yourself, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'd still just be teaching yoga, right? I guess. And it's funny, I guess what's funny about that question is that this week I hosted a full moon Reiki workshop, right? So there was no yoga involved in the workshop. So it was me sharing about what the full moon was and what it represented. And then we did a Reiki meditation, and I played sound bowls. And afterwards, my husband said to me, this is what you need to be doing. You need to be offering more of these. This is where and he said, this is your evolution. Like, it's okay if you don't teach yoga anymore. And I looked at him and I was like, no, I have to keep teaching yoga. I still love my yoga.
Yeah.
But I guess, yeah, it's interesting how things evolve, right?
Yeah, so, you're shifting.
Yeah. So I'm grateful for the shifting. And that's what that's what Spirit Warrior Nation's mantra is, right? Shift, transform, grow.
Ooh. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
So. I like that. So let me ask you a bit about your chakras. Where do you usually feel that you need work? In what area? In the seven centers of energy.
Yeah.
For yourself. Yeah.
So for me, it's my heart, and it's I don't want to say it's I think it's between my solar and my sacral, but probably more my sacral. I don't have a problem with drive. So my solar plexus is always pretty lit up, but my sacral,
the ambitious Capricorn.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very ambitious Capricorn. I'm always driving towards something. But that's just within me, and that's okay.
You're not wearing any of the colors to go with the energy centers.
No, I have on my rose quartz. That's not true.
Ooh.
I've got my rose quartz wrapped around my wrist for my heart.
I like it. Yeah. I like it.
So, yeah, my heart is very open, which I love, and that has developed over the years, which is beautiful because it means that I have so much love and so much compassion for everyone around me. The downside of having so much love and so much compassion can sometimes be that we also we feel deeply, we get emotionally hurt easily. So I have to consistently be like in protection of my heart space as well.
Empathetic.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I worked with you, because it's interesting, Thara, because obviously I knew you since I was in elementary school. Since I came to this kind of, you'd be on AVS, but not even for those reasons. But it's interesting that I followed you about, I think, a decade ago with my older account when I was suffering with like suicide and, all those things. So I've been watching you for a long time. And then I rediscovered you. And, you can work with really anyone for Reiki, but it's like someone who you can align with. I was like, I'm going to work with her. And I chose to work with you because you can feel, who would be right for you energetic wise.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me. So I wanted to ask you this one question. Do you feel that, you have mental health challenges or you have because of who you are, that you have to constantly prove yourself to people or the reputation, like those kind of things? Do you ever struggle with that or people's comments and things?
I think, I don't struggle with the comments. I think many years ago, I made a very specific decision about my Instagram account that it was going to be a place of positivity and a place of love. And that was the only thing that I wanted within my space. And if someone put something negative, I was just going to delete the comment, right? Because it's my page. And although it's a public forum, I don't have to allow negativity in my space, right? So I made that decision years ago. And what's so interesting now at this time is that I really don't get negative comments. Yeah, which is like amazing. And I'm so grateful, right? But I feel like I don't think that that's random. I think that I curated that, right? Because that's what I said. I was like, this is a positive space, right? That's why you come here. In terms of dealing with feeling like I have to prove myself, I think that sometimes what I struggle with, like I've been quiet on social media for the past few weeks. Like I haven't been sharing as much because I've been going through my own transition phase and my own period of self-work that needs to be done and will continue to be done through the end of the year. And that's hard, right? Because I'm a person who's sharing. I've built a career off of Instagram and sharing my life. So when I'm like, I'm not really in the mood to share, but I need to kind of keep it going so that when I am ready to work and to build, that it's still there. So I think that's kind of what I'm trying to find that balance in right now. Yeah, that's
me too. I'm in the same space.
Right.
We try together. It's just me, no team yet. So I'm like, if I don't go, it's in that go, go, go mindset, but it's like, it's still going to be here. And I learned from a friend who has his own company that it would take about 2 years for people to even forget what you built. People wouldn't forget you anyway for other reasons, which we don't need to discuss, but
thank you.
It's not about him. Anyway, so I want to ask you one more question. What was my question? It's so funny. Like I went blank.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I know my question. So my question is, so you said you did the work on yourself and you do have a therapist, right? So you went to psychotherapy, right?
Yeah.
Have you done hypnotherapy and like actual like clinical breath work and like other things too?
No, I just go to therapy
Really?
I just go to therapy to have someone to talk to.
Oh.
I tell everyone that everyone should have a therapist. And this is something I share with all of my friends, all of my family. I'm like, everyone should have a therapist.
Yeah.
Because you need someone who is not connected to your life. You need someone who is never going to throw it in your face during an argument.
Yes.
Right? You need someone who is not going to judge you when you're having a bad day. All of those things, it's real. Right? And I think that there is something so incredibly powerful. For me, one of the biggest jokes I will share between me and my husband is, the struggle that women and men have, right? Like I need to talk, but I don't need solutions.
Yeah. Yes.
I just need to talk and I need to be heard. And that's really hard for him sometimes. Because he wants to listen, but then he wants to give me an answer. And I'm like, no. I will find my answer. I'm perfectly capable of finding my answer. But I just need to hear it out loud. That's a big part of my process. So that's why having a therapist is so powerful for me.
There's no bias. But it's interesting because I posted a status a personal status sharing my feeling. I just yet last night, and I was saying I have yet to meet a man, like romantically, the status. I'm sharing something personal, which I don't do. And I said, I've yet to meet a man with my mental and spiritual stamina, like to my level or above. And that's because I've done a lot of work on myself. You see me from last year to now.
Yeah.
You know? So it's to, you know, not be disrespected, those things. But for you, it's different because it's marriage. But I definitely relate to that because people were commenting on it, giving opinions. This is me just venting. Like, I didn't ask what are your thoughts? And so I don't like people. I don't want to hear opinions. I just wanted to share what was on my heart without people commenting how they feel about it. This is me just sharing. I don't want to hear what you have to say.
Yep. It's really funny.
But that's social media.
Yeah. You got to be careful with social media because you open yourself up and then everyone's like,
I know.
Like, no, that wasn't what I was asking for.
Because I would ask, what are your thoughts? Or what have you been through? But I didn't ask a question. There's no question mark. There's just me saying what's on my heart. But I know because it is. But
no
usually,
hashtag no response required.
Yeah. But no, usually people don't also do that. Only just two. But it was, you know, a respectful way. So I responded. But if it was like a lot of that, then I know what I need to do from now on. But I definitely resonate with you regarding curating your own space because I also have set my boundaries to how people will talk to me and the things they will say, especially in my Try Together community. So where you're live right now, it's over 1,500 people that are in my community that I grew from the time you knew me, like last time to now, organically, like no marketing and naturally. So it's really interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. But yeah, so that was my question. And one last thing, and then I'll let you go. I want to talk to you about happiness days in the video and your family. So I know the video came out. Do you feel, was it like organic for you? Like shooting it, did it feel like it was just your family? It looked organic.
It was so beautiful. And it's been an evolution, right? For Jay and I.
Yeah.
Jay and I came from a time when we got secretly married and people didn't know I was his wife.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. When we got married, people didn't know we were married and I was on the road with him and people didn't know I was his wife. So that's from where we started, right? To be now at this space where we film a music video together with our family, with our kids, was so special and so organic and just like the easiest day ever. Like we weren't working, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's beautiful to be in a space where we're like, this is what it is, right? This is what it is. This is who we are. And this is our happiness.
I like that. It's interesting because I remember I used to watch your video 14 years ago when you guys were on the road. I was in elementary school or something. So I remember him talking about, I know the chicken thing and I know all that, but I did not know that you guys ever got secretly married. Did you ever announce that?
I mean, we announced our wedding years after. We basically announced the wedding right before we announced that I was pregnant because I was like, I don't want people to think that, you know, I'm like, we've been married all these years. So, yeah, but you know what? It's again, right? One of the greatest lessons that I've learned through my journey is sometimes we don't have to know exactly why something is going the way that it is. And sometimes things don't make exact sense, right? But they eventually, if you let go, trust, and surrender to that higher power and just keep doing good, being good, right? Things will unfold. And it wasn't easy getting married and having it be a secret. And there was much heartache that came over the course of those years, right? There was much joy, but there was also much heartache. But looking back, I'm so grateful for it because it gave us the opportunity to build a foundation as a couple outside of other people's opinions. And that I think is priceless because when I see couples getting abused on social media and the comments and the negativity and all that stuff, I'm like, we're so lucky because we were like rock solid when we finally shared, you know, we were out of the honeymoon phase. Like so I think that it worked out exactly as it was meant to be.
Because if there was no base, who knows if you would have made it this far.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's like over 15 years. So what, in a entertainment industry, being together, and, it's quite a feat, right? So I'm proud of us for how far we've come.
You just reminded me you used to sing. Do you still sing?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I always sing.
Yeah.
But I don't record and sing as much
Yeah.
anymore. But I love doing my meditations. I feel like my meditations, and recording them, it's like, for me, again, the evolution of my voice, right? So, I still get to use my voice. It's just used in a different way. And now it's used for healing. And I think that that's a gift.
So brilliant. So share with us everything. So you do the coaching, right? Are you still doing coaching?
So yeah, I do coaching. So I do one-on-one Reiki sessions, but I love doing the 6-week course, because I think, one session is not really, we're going to make change, but I want to make substantial change that's going to change your life, right? So we work together over 6 weeks. So I call it the pie of life. We break down all your pieces and we work on them each week. So I do that. I run different courses. So we'll have some new ones coming in the new year. And there's little mini courses that you can purchase online that I've curated for you guys. I teach in my yoga studio, Fire Shaper in Tenafly. So you can always come visit me in person if you're in the area in New Jersey, Burton County. And then I'm on Spotify at Thara Natalie. Spirit Warrior Volume 1 is there for all of your meditation needs.
Yeah, and Instagram lives are amazing. You really help. It's interesting because I don't follow everyone, but you have to, whoever you listen to is important. They affect you, right? So you've been one of the people who really actually helps people. So I think that's important to say. And I feel even if you're more known, like, follower wise and things, I don't know if it would still be as authentic. Like, you're special, like, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? With the group of people you have, you don't need more. Like, less is more, and what we have now is enough. What would that do anyway? You know what I mean?
Quality over quantity.
Yeah. So I think it's great.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be part of your journey and able to add any help and support. We all need each other. So, and thank you for what you're doing. It's beautiful.
This is great. Thank you for your time.
Of course, my darling. So good to see you and spend time with you.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
You too.
Awesome. All right. Sending you lots of love. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, darling.